What's going on, guys, lady? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Vinny here with Monsoon Tactical. I know it's been a long time since I've seen you guys last. 7 months to be exact, last time I checked, and it was on the Staccato P4 HD. So in fashion, we're going to do some more reviews on the Staccato HD lineup. I'm back, and if you can see the cool camera angles that we got along with crispy audio and video, we decided for the end of 2025 and going into 2026 that we're going to seek out some help to create the content, help create the content, edit it, and film it. And we did that. So our good cameraman, Aaron, the Ronin cameraman, is going to be helping us moving forward with our content for YouTube and as well as Instagram. So he's going to really allow us to push the needle and get more content out to you guys, because to be realistic with you, the time to sit down and edit is not there for me. I can film all day when I have time, but actually sitting down and doing all of that stuff is just hard for me at this time. So we're really happy to bring him on board and be able to push this content out for you. So today, on today's episode, we have the Staccato P45 HD. So if you have seen the video of the P4, this video and this review is going to be pretty short. And also in Monsoon fashion, we're not necessarily reviewing the stock version of the gun. Okay, that's not what we're going to do here on the channel. We're going to bring in guns that we see. We're going to do our modifications to them and all of the aftermarket work that we can offer. And then we're going to kind of base the review around those things, as well as things that we've done to the gun and our overall thoughts surrounding the platform. So from the review standpoint, I'm not going to really get too crazy about it, because it's not much different from the Staccato P4. If you guys have seen that review, then you guys already kind of know how I feel about the gun and its overarching themes. However, a little bit has changed since then. I've had 7 months since that review to also play with like the P4, the P4.5 now, and the new 3.6, which will be a separate video on its own. But we have the P4.5 here now. So the only crazy differences that I can see outside of the obvious of the barrel being longer is they did happen to fix the back half of the gun here. So before, we had talked about the differences in angles and width compared to the normal Staccatos and 2011s, like the P, the XCs, and even the C and the CSs, right? So they actually came back here and actually beveled and changed the safeties quite a bit to make it more ergonomic and not as hot spotty in the hand. And I have yet to experience any kind of inadvertent trip of the safety when shooting it, where some people have been noticing under recoil that safety would trip. The overall detent of the gun, as you can hear, is way stiffer and way more tactile and audible. So all of the issues that we kind of saw in the P4 and a lot of other people saw in the P4 at launch has been fixed as far as the back half of the gun's concerned. Now, the obvious, we have the Staccato P45, and basically all it is an extra, 0.5 inches of barrel, but it's a sight block barrel. And again, the stock version, you're going to have the front sight on the sight block, but this is Monsoon Tactical, so we did our Genghis comp to the overall front of the barrel here. And we'll get good B-roll of this. We have shot the piss out of this gun. And there's carbon buildup, all kinds of stuff. Our buddy, the mad scientist, which we will get some information and footage on his products here soon. This is his gun. He's a bit of a Staccato file. He's got every single Staccato known to man, and he was gracious enough to get a hold of this gun extremely early for us and let us be able to do the comp work to it. So if you've been following us for a good amount of time, you would know that when they first kind of leaked the Staccato P45, I was like looking at the front half of this gun and saying, please make that a solid piece of metal so that we can put a compensator cut in it. And they did. There was some back and forth on what was going to happen. We actually talked to someone in Staccato that we know. I'm not going to name any names, but we got some, he basically asked for some feedback and kind of what we would like to see. And I know that there were some reports at SHOT Show that the quote unquote demo models, the sight block was threaded onto the barrel, which isn't ideal, especially for trying to do this. And we were really hoping that they would make it one integral piece, kind of like the XC, and they ended up doing that on the production model here. So we were able to go into the sight block, take the front sight out, do our Genghis comp style profile cut on it. We were able to go a lot deeper and a little bit wider in comparison to, say, a normal Genghis comp in a barrel. So the sight block allowed us to get pretty good volume overall on the cut. And again, we'll get B-roll of this and what it looks like. But to me, technically we are porting the barrel, but this is, in my opinion, a true compensator cut on this style of barrel where we have a sight block and actually, going in, removing material, creating an expansion chamber, and then back boring and recrowning everything in the front to make it the way it needs to be. So during the shooting portion of this, we did go over accuracy. We'll put that in now on what happened. Okay, so we're going to kind of get into some accuracy stuff on this Staccato P45, strictly with the Genghis comp cut in the island sight barrel now. So we get this question a lot. Does the porting, quote unquote, affect the accuracy of the firearm after you're done with it? We're going to show you here. I'm also going to kind of show you my process. We're going to check here and dial in at 10 yards. We got just your basic, grid no shoot target at the berm there. We're going to shoot, anywhere between I like a 5-round group. I think that's a good number of rounds to send to make sure that we're getting a consistent zero. And, any flyers or deviation ammunition, human error is kind of taken out if we have a better group size to look at. Some people like to send 3. That's kind of the gold standard. I like to send 5, maybe even 10 rounds, depending on how crazy I want to get with my zero. So again, this is the P45. We got the Genghis comp cut in the barrel here on the sight block. All right. So we're going to check accuracy. First, we're going to check and confirm zero at 10 yards. Then we're going to jump back to 25 because everybody likes to see groups of 25 and see what kind of groups I can put on today with this gun. So typical equipment for zeroing, everyone's got their different methods. I have like an old school camera tripod, and I got just like a bean bag on it here, kind of looped around. And I'm going to dig in to the gun here, or into the bean bag with the base of the gun. I like to use a flat magazine so that I have a good base on the gun there. And I like to have the tripod set up in such a way that when I'm behind it, I'm more natural. I don't have to like hunch and do all kinds of weird stuff. If I need to, I'll kind of split my stance here just to make sure that this is kind of my normal shooting stance if I were just offhand. So we're going to send, again, a 5-round group at the bottom left target here, or the bottom left square, right at the red, and try to confirm this 10-yard zero. The other thing I will say that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to zeroing is the ammunition that you're zeroing at is going to be the zero for the dot. A lot of people, for some weird reason, don't understand that if you zero with 115 practice rounds and you stick your 147 carry round in it, there's going to be a massive deviation as far as your zero is concerned. That's why a lot of people try to either have 2 separate zeros marked on their optic, one for training, one for carry, or they try to find a ammo that is very similar to their carry round and their practice ammo. So we're going to send a group now and then see what we get, and then we'll get back to you at 25. Settling in there, getting my sight picture. The other part of this is breathing and trying to get on that exhale there. So here we go. All right, so it looks like we need to go a little bit to the right here. I haven't shot this gun in a while. I know that we did take the optic off, put it back on, and it's rough zeroed. So I'm gonna dial it in here. Okay, so we dialed a little bit to the right. I'm gonna go to the next target over to make sure I have a good zero now. The main thing I'm looking for is just a good point of aim, point of impact. I'm aiming red. I want my rounds to at least be in that red spot. I'm not like looking for super butthole tight groups. That's great if it happens, but the other thing to remember is you're human and you can only do so much at any given day. So let's see if the adjustments we made worked enough for us to kind of kick it back to 25 and check the zero there as well. All right, I would call that pretty fucking dialed in. We did get that butthole size group that we wanted. Everything's pretty much in the same hole. Couple up, couple down. That's just me, again, in that deviation we're talking about. But they're all touching. They're all within that 1 inch red square. So we're gonna push it back to 25 yards, kind of check the deviation, if there is any, at 25. I'm gonna go more for the middle of the target, the bigger area. That's about a 4 inch square. So if I'm able to kind of settle them in there, I think I'll be happy with that. And then we'll see what happens at 25. Okay, so we're at 25 yards, guys. A lot of people like to check their zero or even zero at this distance. I like a 10-yard zero mainly because I'm able to get a group like that at 10. And once you get further back, I think it's harder for, you know, the human error takes even more effect on trying to zero at that distance. If you have a vise, all that other stuff to really get a refined 25-yard zero, that's fine. But this is a 10-yard zero, and I'm aiming for that middle section of the target. See what kind of group I'm gonna get. I think I'm gonna send 10. Bigger group size here to kind of give you an idea where we're printing with this gun today with this ammo, which we are shooting 115 grain MagTech brass from our buddies over at Aim Surplus. So 25 yards. Really gonna take my time. Again, this is all based off of how well I'm shooting today. So nice breaths in, and let's send it and see what happens. Turn the dot down a little, that's too much, okay? All right. Shank that shit out of that one. Okay, I don't know how many that was. Let's go down and check it out, and we'll talk about it. Okay, so we're down here at the target. This is my group for the day at 25 yards. Again, for me, I'm okay with this. Now, I could definitely tighten this up. I shot that group a lot quicker than I wanted to. I can definitely come up here and go to a smaller aiming reference and really dial in, take my time shooting that group, but I shot it pretty quickly. First shot was literally dead center here, and then the trend, I think, is this. We got 2 touching, 1 here, another 2 touching, and 3 high. Those 3 high, I called one, I shanked it. And again, I think that setup that I have for shooting groups at distance isn't the best. It's definitely really good for shooting groups up close and getting guns zeroed. But as far as trying to shoot a 25-yard super tight group at 25, that's not the ideal setup. But I still think that this is a good overall result. Okay, if we take these 3 outliers here, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shot group here, you know, within a 4-inch circle. I think that's a pretty good, or 4-inch grid, so to speak, because each square is 1 inch. I'm okay with that. So no crazy major deviation. Everything we did with the comp, geometry-wise, is there. We're getting no, you know, skipping off the floor. We're not getting any skipping on the exit. So everything looks great here. I think you're going to be extremely happy with the accuracy. From what we've seen, stock versus the Genghis comp version of this, accuracy is identical, and it's going to be based off of how well you shoot that day. So today we got a group like this at 10 yard with our zero, and then we got a 25-yard group like this. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I was 1 short. Sue me, I guess. So there's your accuracy portion of the gun and the build that we did for the Genghis comp P4.5. So let's answer your guys' questions there. We got the gun zeroed at 10, shot a really nice tight group. went back to 25 off the bag and the tripod, and put a really good group on paper as well. So the overall port itself does not cause any accuracy issues, but the overall performance from this to a stock gun is night and day. It's actually pretty amazing how well this comp cut works on this platform. Is it quite the XC that we are looking for when we do this? It's not exactly XC-ish, because again, the XC style comp is way bigger in volume, but what I would consider this being is an XC on a duty side. Okay, this is more of a more reliable, loose fitted gun in the barrel and all the stuff. And then the comp itself is a night and day difference as far as performance. So we're getting that duty style gun and that XC style performance without sacrificing any kind of reliability that we've seen so far. Again, Rob got us this gun extremely early. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before launch, he got a hold of this gun and he was like, do your thing. I want you to be the first. I can go back on our IG and show you how long ago we actually comped this one. And I'm pretty sure we were the first to the market to comp it. So really happy with the performance so far. We've been running the brakes off of this gun again to see if we're going to run any issues. Other than oiling it, really haven't cleaned it. The comp's crusty. It's got a bunch of carbon built up in it, and it's been running flawlessly. Kind of again breezing over everything that we did on this gun. We did do the Genghis comp on the front of the island sight barrel here, and then we just did a basic stipple job on the grip here. This is our controlled chaos stippling with our logo. And as far as that, it's a simple build as far as what we did to this. If you follow us on IG, you've seen us do quite a few major and crazy builds with this platform. We've seen a lot of them come through the shop since we've really been doing the comp cuts. And it's been really fun to see, again, that mild and wild side of it. So again, from a review standpoint, guys, I personally think this is, to me, it's more than carryable. You can carry this gun concealed if you really wanted to. I personally can see it filling both roles as a concealed carry or a duty gun. Even more so with the comp cut, I think that this is 100% a feasible modification to do to any duty/carry gun. That being said, though, in comparison to the other HD lineups, I'm not sure that I would lean more on the carry side with this personally than I would more on the OWB duty side of things personally. So it is a little bit longer. It is a little bit heavier than the P4. And in comparison to the 3.6, it's like light years bigger and heavier. Even the P4 is heavier than the 3.6 is. So for those people that are on the fence on whether picking up the P4.5 or the P4, I would go more on the P4.5 route. I don't think the P4 makes much sense anymore with this gun out on the market. And if you're into the HD lineup, to me, the 4.5 and the 3.6 would be like the carry gun and the bigger carry gun / duty gun. So that's kind of my opinion on it. I don't think with this gun existing now that the P4 is really a relevant solution for this overall size. Like that extra 0.5 doesn't add too much, and it allows us to do a better mod as far as the porting is concerned to this gun. So I'm not going to get too deep into technicals. You can go watch the P4 video for that because everything else is still the same. I kind of mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video that my opinions have slightly shifted on the HD platform in general in comparison to the P4 video that I did 7 months ago, where I said I would still pick a regular Staccato over the HD, which is still true. But I can tell you right now that my opinions as far as this being viable has shifted quite a bit. I like the HD series a lot, believe it or not. The Series 80 stuff, you know, some people are kind of still like about it. The trigger on this thing, again, is not bad at all. And I've felt some of these 4.5s come through here that were just absurdly light. The grip angle on this thing is not as foreign to me as I thought it would be at first. And I'm really liking the HD series as a whole now in comparison to what I thought 7 months ago. I liked it, but I really like it now. Unfortunately, you know, we have a P4, we have a 3.6. I do not own a P4.5 personal yet. We're gonna have to go get one now because I like this gun so much. The return to zero is amazing. You guys will see that in the slow-mo footage. with the comp, it's just doing work. The gun's returning every single time, and I really don't know what else to say about it as far as that. Performance gains on the comp is just extremely good, and we really think that if you have the 4.5, it's just asking to be ported, and there's no other reason why you have this gun and not get this done. So if that's something you're interested in, you can definitely hit us up. That's how you can support us in this channel, is by going and getting some services through our business, Monsoon Tactical, and getting that done for you. We don't have any affiliate links. We don't have anything like that as far as monetary gains from this channel to help us propel this and get this content out to you guys. So actually doing business with us is what helps us be able to do this content for you and continue moving forward. Again, guys, in a nutshell, in conclusion, I really think that the P4.5 is the better option in comparison to the P4, especially with the sight blocker on there. Even if it's stock, I still think it's a better overall platform. That extra 0.5, that extra sight block weight makes this gun more viable in my opinion, and that extra 0.5 in the front is not what I'm worried about from concealment. So the grip angle and all the grip size is still the same from the P4.5 and the P4. So to me, there's no big difference there. I really like the HD platform, and I really don't think that you can go wrong with the platform as of right now. They seem to have fixed all the weird kinks and bugs out of it. And between the 3 guns that I have, I'm really liking the HD series a lot. So if you guys like this video, comment down below what you guys think of the HD series. Get us a hit and a like on that button icon thing. All the YouTube stuff really helps us out, and we'll see you guys on the next video.